Greetings, fellow seekers of truth and understanding. Welcome to Wisdom and Wealth. I'm your host, and today, we're embarking on a profound exploration of Buddhist teachings, specifically the concept that birth is the first suffering. This might sound a bit intense, especially as we often associate birth with joy and new beginnings, but stick with me. Before we delve deeper, if you find this journey of exploration enlightening, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel, Wisdom and Wealth, for more thought-provoking content. We aim to offer a perspective that resonates with those navigating the complexities of life, particularly those of us over 40, who have accumulated a wealth of experience and are seeking deeper meaning. Now, Chapter 1, The First Truth: Why is birth called suffering? We all instinctively understand the delight of welcoming new life. It's a powerful wave of joy, a sense of wonder, a feeling of pure, unadulterated beginning. It appears, on the surface, to be flawless. Yet, the Buddha, who peered into reality with astonishing clarity, offered a different lens through which to view that initial step into existence. In his first major teaching, he stated something that many find challenging: birth is suffering. This might give you pause. How can something so beautiful, so seemingly full of promise, be described as suffering? To comprehend this, we must delve into the meaning of suffering in the Buddhist context. The word frequently translated as suffering is dukkha. It is not merely about acute pain or trauma. It is a far more encompassing concept, reaching into the subtle nuances of human experience. Think of it more as a profound, underlying feeling of unease, a persistent sense that things are never quite right, never entirely complete or satisfactory in the manner we anticipate. It's akin to a wheel that's slightly off-center, always generating a subtle wobble, a constant source of minor discomfort. The Buddha emphasized that birth is the necessary gateway to all other experiences that carry this inherent quality of unease. When you are born, you step through that door, and it inevitably leads you to the realities of aging. Your body undergoes transformations, your mind evolves, your faculties may weaken. If this resonates with you so far, please like this video and subscribe to our channel, Wisdom and Wealth, to show your support and to be notified of more content. This path of life also leads to sickness, the experience of physical pain and health difficulties. And ultimately, it leads to passing away, the natural end of this physical form. Beyond the physical realm, being born also signifies experiencing the numerous mental and emotional pains that are an integral part of life, the profound sadness when you lose someone you love, the frustration when circumstances don't align with your desires, the stress of navigating challenging situations you dislike. Birth is the entry point to all of these experiences, the very foundation upon which the edifice of suffering is built. What precisely, then, comes into existence at birth? The Buddha elucidated that our existence is composed of 5 aggregates, or parts: our physical body, our feelings, our thoughts, our intentions, or will, and our awareness. He reminded us that these 5 parts are constantly undergoing change. They are not solid or permanent entities. They are akin to a flowing river, always in motion, never static. The challenge, the origin of dukkha, stems from our relationship with these ever-changing components. We tend to cling to them fiercely, believing they constitute a fixed, unchanging me or mine. This clinging to something that is inherently impermanent is a profound source of our unease. And birth marks the very inception of this process of holding on to these temporary components. So, when the Buddha said, "Birth is suffering," he was articulating the fundamental truth that being born is the unavoidable entry point into a life where unease is ever present, where we are composed of changing components that we tend to cling to. It's a truth to perceive clearly, not with dread, but with understanding and acceptance. It's an objective observation about the very nature of existence itself, a framework for understanding our place in the cosmos. Now, let's move on to Chapter 2, Why We Return: Karma, Craving, Ignorance. So, if birth serves as the doorway to all this unease, this dukkha, a natural question arises, doesn't it? Why does it occur at all? Why are we born? And why does this cycle appear to perpetuate itself? From a Buddhist perspective, being born is not a random occurrence. It's not simply a matter of chance or luck. It's an integral part of a vast, natural cycle, frequently referred to as samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. This cycle operates according to natural laws of cause and effect, a cosmic principle that governs the universe. One of the key factors that sustains this cycle is our actions. The Buddha taught that our intentional actions, what we do, what we say, and even what we think with intention, generate something akin to seeds. These seeds are planted in the stream of our being, shaping our destiny. When the appropriate conditions converge, these seeds sprout and manifest as our experiences in the future. Being born into a particular life, in a way, is experiencing the results, the fruits, of actions we performed in the past. Concurrently, while in this life, we are continuously creating new seeds through our present actions, which will culminate in future experiences, including future births. This is the principle of karma, the universal law of cause and effect that governs our journey through samsara. If you're finding value in this exploration of Buddhist principles, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel, Wisdom and Wealth, so you don't miss future discussions on living a more meaningful life. But what propels these actions? What imbues the seeds with their potency? A powerful force is at play here, craving. According to the Buddha's teaching, this craving, this intense thirst, is a potent energy that sustains the cycle. It's the yearning for things we desire, the desire to reject things we dislike, and the profound, subtle desire to continue existing, to be something, to avoid ceasing. This clinging, this thirst, generates the energy that fuels our actions and binds us to the cycle of samsara, leading to rebirth. And what constitutes the deepest root of this craving and these actions that result in rebirth? The Buddha pointed to something termed ignorance. This isn't about intellectual capacity or lack thereof. It's about not perceiving reality with clarity, a fundamental misunderstanding of the nature of things. It's the failure to truly comprehend the way things are, things such as the truth of dukkha, the truth of impermanence, and the truth that there is no fixed, unchanging self to cling to. Because we don't perceive these truths clearly, we generate karma, driven by our craving. Being born reveals to us that this lack of clear perception is still present, still influencing our experience and perpetuating the cycle. Thus, according to the Buddha's teaching, we are born and persist in this cycle due to our past actions, fueled by our present craving, all rooted in a fundamental lack of clear understanding about the nature of reality. Seeing this helps us understand that this cycle isn't a fixed destiny we are trapped in forever. It reveals that the causes of birth and suffering can be comprehended, and potentially, altered at their very root, offering hope for liberation. Chapter 3, Seeing Suffering, Perspectives from Philosophy, Psychology and Science. These profound questions about our existence, about confronting challenges and changes, are not exclusive to Buddhist thought. People have contemplated these matters in diverse ways, across various eras and cultures, offering valuable insights from different perspectives. Let's explore how other ways of understanding the world intersect with these concepts. Consider philosophy, for instance. Some philosophers, particularly those within the tradition of existentialism, discuss the feeling of being thrown into the world. You didn't choose to be born, you simply find yourself here, confronting profound questions about life's meaning in a vast universe. This concept of being thrown into existence without choice resonates with the sense of lacking control over being born, which is part of the unease the Buddha spoke about. These philosophers also address something called existential anxiety, a fundamental feeling of unease or worry about simply existing, about facing death, and about whether life holds meaning. This feeling aligns with the concept of dukkha, or suffering, in a fundamental way, highlighting a shared human experience. Now, let's examine what we've gleaned from psychology. Certain ideas in psychology underscore the importance of our early life experiences. Some schools of thought discuss the inherent difficulties of being born itself or how crucial it is for a baby to feel secure and connected from the outset. This suggests, even from a scientific perspective on the mind, that the beginning of life isn't always perfectly smooth and can lay the groundwork for later emotional challenges. Psychology also delves into how we form attachments, how we require secure connections with others for our well-being. Buddhism takes this exploration even deeper, recognizing that it's our clinging to these relationships and feelings of security, especially because they naturally change or can be lost, that becomes a direct source of suffering. When what we cling to changes, we experience pain, a universal aspect of the human condition. Finally, what about science, simply observing the physical realities of being born? Science unequivocally demonstrates the fragility of a newborn baby, its complete dependence on others for every aspect of its survival. This physical body we receive at birth is, by its very nature, susceptible to harm, to illness, and is part of the natural cycle of aging and eventual passing. Science's observation of this physical reality affirms the truth the Buddha spoke about long ago, the truth of the changing and imperfect nature of life, beginning with the body we are born into. These diverse fields, philosophy, psychology, science, describe things they can observe and study, offering explanations within their own ways of thinking. They touch upon the unease, the fragility, the difficulties that seem built into being human from the moment we are born. Buddhism, while agreeing with many of these observations about the nature of suffering in life, goes further by looking at the deeper causes, the actions we do and our lack of clear understanding, and offers a practical way to free ourselves from this suffering at its root. Seeing how these other perspectives also point to the inherent difficulties of life, in their own ways, shows that the truth the Buddha spoke about isn't something strange or only for a few. It's a deep reality of human existence that many have sensed. Now, let's consider Chapter 4, Acceptance, Transformation, and the Path Ahead. So, if life commences with unease and entails these challenges, how should we feel about that? Is it a somber message, or does it hold something healing? What is the significance of perceiving this truth? Viewing this truth with equanimity possesses a healing power. It doesn't imply that we should dislike life or succumb to depression. Instead, acknowledging that life, within this cycle, inherently includes aging, sickness, loss, and change assists us in relinquishing unrealistic expectations. We often yearn for perfect, unchanging happiness in our present circumstances, but that's not the nature of what is born. Accepting reality as it is, clearly understanding that things change and that unease is part of the package, actually cultivates a quiet sense of peace. It mitigates the disappointment and suffering that arise from expecting life to be something it cannot be in this form. When we truly realize that this basic unease, this dukkha, is not solely our individual experience but a shared reality for everyone, all beings who are born face aging, sickness, and death, all experience loss and frustration, a natural feeling begins to blossom within us. This is compassion. If you've enjoyed this exploration of Buddhist insights on wisdom and wealth, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. We begin to develop empathy for others. We become less quick to judge, less prone to anger, and we naturally wish for well-being for ourselves and for others. It's crucial to remember something else here. Even though being born involves suffering, being born as a human being is considered incredibly precious and rare in Buddhist teaching. Why? Because in this human life, we have the ability to think, to understand these teachings, and to practice a path that can lead beyond suffering. Not all beings in all states of existence have this chance. Being human gives us the best opportunity to recognize the truth of suffering and to walk the path that ends it. The Buddha didn't just stop at describing suffering and its causes. He also pointed to the end of suffering, a state of peace often called nirvana. And most importantly, he showed the practical way to reach that end. This is the fourth noble truth, the path itself, known as the Noble Eightfold Path. This path is a real way to transform our minds and lives. It involves things like trying to understand clearly, thinking in helpful ways, speaking truthfully and kindly, acting ethically, earning a living in a good way, making effort to improve ourselves, being mindful of our present experience, and developing focus through meditation. Following this path helps us purify our minds and gradually free ourselves from the grip of past actions, strong cravings, and the lack of clear understanding that keep the cycle turning. The practice is not about running away from suffering. It's about learning to face it directly, to observe it with a calm mind and with wisdom. It's in this process of turning towards reality, of embracing what is, that suffering begins to change. It transforms from something that overwhelms us into something we understand, something that teaches us, leading us towards peace. Understanding that birth is suffering is not a message of despair. It is a brave and wise first step. It's not the end of the story, but a hopeful beginning. It's the starting point for a life lived with more awareness, more compassion, and a journey towards a true, lasting freedom. This is the profound gift that the Buddha's wisdom offers to us. Finally, let's explore Chapter 5, Birth's True Gift, Your Chance for Freedom. We witness a new life entering the world, and there is often so much hope, so much feeling of a fresh start. Yet, the Buddha, with his clear seeing, also pointed to something else about that moment. Birth is the necessary entry into a life where unease, change, and difficulty are part of our experience. But does this mean birth is simply a burden? Is that the entire picture? The deeper understanding, the one the Buddha offered, sees a kind of paradox here. Recognizing that birth is connected to suffering, to life's challenges and impermanence, is a true and necessary first step. It's seeing reality clearly. But that truth isn't the final word on the meaning of birth itself. How we view this life changes everything. If we see birth only as the start of pain and trouble, we are missing something crucial. The perspective of wisdom sees this human birth, with all its difficulties, as the essential ground. It is the necessary condition where freedom can actually be found. You have to be in the game of life to have the chance to find a way beyond the cycle of suffering. Being born is stepping onto the field where awakening is possible. This human life you have, this birth, is like a door. It's a door that leads you into the world of suffering, yes, but it is also, uniquely, a door to awakening. This door doesn't open by itself. It opens when we actively use the abilities this human life provides. It opens when we apply the understanding we are gaining about suffering and its causes. It opens when we practice being present and aware, cultivating mindfulness. It opens as we develop wisdom, seeing the truth of how things are more and more clearly. And it opens as we grow our compassion for ourselves and all others who are sharing this same human experience. It requires our conscious effort, our willingness to engage with life and practice. While birth brings us into a world where facing difficulties is unavoidable, its true, profound significance lies in giving us this unique and precious chance. Being human provides the opportunity to wake up from the cycle of being born, living with unease, and dying, a cycle driven by old habits and not seeing reality clearly. This is the starting line for the most important journey possible, the journey towards liberation, towards a lasting peace that doesn't depend on anything changing. This chance, this potential for awakening, is something not available in many other forms of existence. Therefore, the true feeling that comes from understanding this isn't sadness or resignation. It is a sense of deep empowerment. This life, this birth, with all its challenges and its moments of unease, is precisely our invaluable opportunity. It is the perfect condition to cultivate inner peace, to develop wisdom and kindness, and to find a freedom that is real and lasting. We have this chance right now. It is up to us to use it wisely. I hope this journey of insight and self-discovery has been enriching. And if you found this enlightening, please like this video and subscribe to our channel, Wisdom and Wealth, for more on life's profound questions.